Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to now explain the new system. Pay attention. So I'm very excited about this new system because it's going to ensure a lot more learning, which is what us lecturers are all about, learning. Right? So the reason I've changed the system is because the other one is not working. So this is what I've developed. It includes the three following things: your project, online learning, and an online workbook, which I will explain now. Pay attention, please. And the reason that I'm taking all these things online is because there are so many things that are inhibiting face-to-face learning these days. Transport problems, then there's this problem, then there's that problem, then there's a funeral somewhere, then there's a strike, then the classes are broken and the lights aren't working, and there's what was happening in 2015? What was going on? All the lights went off the whole time. Load shedding. Who knows what will happen next? So we can't rely. I can't rely on, or we can't rly on these times to do learning, for learning to take place. If we had to rely on this and the problems come about, then no learning will take place. So, let's quickly just define what is this relationship that we are in. Why are you here at CPUT? Fundamentally, it is to gain knowledge, to learn. Yes? To learn. Now, if that's not happening, then there's a problem. Okay? So I need to put in as many things as possible to make sure that you're learning. And you need to be sure that you're learning. So, let's quickly look at the new ways we're going to approach this. So I looked at the projects, and quickly I saw that it was a disaster. Because some students understood certain sections and not other sections. Some students didn't understand anything at all, and I wasn't going to mark every single project and write the same thing. Please, you're not understanding this. So I thought, scrap that. I'm just going to make an entirely new system where I explain step by painful step exactly what you need to do at each part of the project. Okay, so that it's basically 99% impossible to do it wrong. Okay? If you've done it already, it's okay. You'll be able to see using this system if you did it right. And you'll copy and paste it in. Okay, so, but before we get there, let me first show you what the three different elements are. So, where's my thing now? Marketing to...
So you like your system and stuff, what is the
And there we go, that's it, making sure you're engaging. Remember what, this is important for you to know, how learning takes place. What enables you to gain knowledge is engaging with the knowledge all the time. So if you're not engaging with the knowledge all the time, you're not going to be able to learn. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get a test which is designed to do what? What's the test designed to do? To test so that you can see, do I understand this or not? It's not really primarily there to give us marks. It's there for you. Okay? It just happens to give us marks as well. But anyways, marks is not what's important. What's important is knowledge being gained by you. So then you get to the test and you assess your knowledge and you fail the test, or you get very low marks on the test and you go, but I don't understand. Am I stupid? What's wrong with me? I went to all the classes, I did the tutorials, but now I'm failing. It's because there wasn't enough engagement with the knowledge in different kinds of ways. That is what helps you grow. It's not that you're stupid. That's a silly way of looking at it. Everyone learns differently and in different ways. And everyone takes a different amount of time to learn different types of things. Some people learn numbers very quickly. Maybe there's some of you in this class. You got high marks for accounting, but terrible marks for marketing. Right? Right, that's because maybe marketing is a different type of knowledge, which you are not necessarily geared for. So you need to engage more with it to learn. Maybe you're the other way around. You get marketing, but numbers, you suck at. That means you need to engage more with the number side. So as lecturers, as educators, as facilitators of learning, I need to make sure that there are different ways that you can engage with the knowledge. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm adding these ways, because this is not enough. Face-to-face class is not enough. That's why I've added these other ways. Okay, so the first thing is the online learning. Let's quickly look at the online learning. Now, online learning works as follows. It's going to be videos of specific topics, concepts, basic things that are in the textbook, which you can also read, and then little quizzes to make sure, do I understand the concepts? There are multiple reasons why I'm doing this. Number one, there is not enough time in the syllabus or in class for me to teach you every single concept here in class. Number two, it's very boring to do that for me and for you. Me standing here quoting facts from the textbook.
So it's not so, like the examples you give makes us understand how.
Sure, but if there's a lot of the work that's very just bullet points. Sure, I give examples, and I'd like to give more of those examples in class. So when I do teach in class, I want to do a quick concept, and then I want to do more examples and practical exercises. Okay? But you'll see later on, you'll see some of the concepts are they're just concepts, they're just facts. So that's the other thing. The other thing is that learning in general, globally, is going this way. You need to know this, because you're going to be learners for the next few years, and hopefully you're going to be lifelong learners, meaning you're learning all the time. Okay? You don't just study and then boom, now my learning's finished, now I'll go and work forever. It doesn't work that way. Oh, shame. You guys are clearly... Anyway, so learning internationally, globally is going online. There's websites like Coursera.org where you can do almost any qualification in the world from many of the top universities for free. Did you know that? Coursera.org. Right? You can do it for free. You don't pay. The only thing you pay for if you want it is a certificate. If you want to get a certificate, you have to pay for that. I recently did one, it was excellent. It's all online. Videos, quizzes, peer-to-peer assessments, which is what I'm also going to be doing now. So I want to train you already how to engage in this way, how to learn in this way. The other thing is that many of you are on the internet all the time anyways, on your phones, on your computers, blah, 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 blah. So I want to bring learning into that environment so that you're learning how to learn in the environment that you are socializing. Okay. And the other thing is that we just don't have enough time in the syllabus to cover all the concepts. So now, if we don't have enough time like this month, this term we need to cover a lot. I'm not going to cover everything in class. I'm going to give you online tests and online learning, and then we're going to cover the key concepts in class. So this week, for example, we're doing chapter 8, finished. I'm going to do the 2 main concepts, 3 main concepts in class, and the rest I'm going to put online for you to do on your own. Okay? In the past, you know how I used to work in the past? In the past, students would have to read their textbook stuff, and then come to class, and then the lecturer would just go through the practical application of some of the major concepts. How many of you have read your textbooks before you come to classes, any of your classes at university? Just be honest, it doesn't matter, it's not a trick question. How many of you have done it every week? Right, so that is telling. The reason that is because this is not a reading generation. You're an online generation, aren't you? A viewing generation. And that's okay. In my generation, we used to read. I still read. I like reading. I learned through reading. So it's important but it's still important that you engage with the concepts and the knowledge before you come to class. Otherwise, you're sitting here expecting me to explain everything to you. I am not responsible for your learning. Did you know that? No, I'm not. You are responsible for your learning. I'm responsible to help you learn, to help you facilitate learning, to help you learn better, but ultimately you are responsible. I can't learn for you. So you need to gain the knowledge and build it. Have you ever heard of the term constructing of knowledge? every human being, the way you learn is you construct knowledge. You take a bit here, you take a bit there. It's like building a house in your mind. And at the moment you're building your marketing house. If you don't actively build it, all you're going to be getting is random stones. From me, you get a stone from the internet, you get a stone from your student, and then when you try and write your test, you're like, why is this not working? I'm throwing stones at it. It's because there's no house being built. You need to actively build that marketing house inside your brain. Okay? So, anyways, I'm giving you some of the theoretical concepts here of learning so that you understand why I'm doing these things. Right, so there's online learning, and the way you engage with it is you simply go to online learning over here on the left, and then you're going to go into the chapter. We're busy with chapter 8 now. And at the moment, this first module, product levels and types, is about 35 minutes to complete. You need to take a video, 2 videos, and a 15-mark quiz, which you've already done for today. There will be another one up later today. Okay? Yes, later today. There will be ones every few days, so you need to make sure, this is what I suggest you do, make sure that you find a lab here at CPUT that you can work in often, because you're going to be doing this multiple times a week from now on. Or at home, or a coffee shop, wherever you find best to work. There will still be tests on a Friday. Right. So, at times we will do some of the tests in class because we'll have more time now, but we'll see how it goes.
So I think you guys, that's like, that just trains us.
Yeah. Chapter 8 start, 8.1. Right, you can do it obviously at home in the meantime and just bring it and hand it in. It's up to you. Chapter 8.1. So, but if you want the help of the tutors, you need to come and engage with them. Because then you might be wrong if you do it at home on your own. Start 8.1. Right, so, okay. Then we have, so just check this, I'm going to be posting it up often. Be on the lookout because you're going to usually get about 2 days, 3 days at the most to finish what's up there. Are we clear? It's not going to be long things. I want to get you fit for your November exam. And many of you need to get fit for your November exam. Right, then the project. The project. Now, the project, which is also going to be a weekly thing, is going to include which is where you need to upload your, what are we calling it? Career marketing plan. Okay, so I'm going to be posting up in the same way as I've done this one, the different sections which you're going to complete question by question. No more template and then you write in the template and upload it, nothing like that. You're going to put it onto Blackboard using this system. This is called a peer graded assessment. Now, this is the same thing is happening online, which I told you with Coursera and other MOOCs, massive open online courses, where the lecturer facilitates peer-to-peer marking. So you submit your work and then you also assess the work of your peers, your colleagues, anonymously. You don't know whose work you're assessing and they don't know who's assessing your work. Now, the reason why this works, they have done research about this and guess what they have found in terms of the comparison between the marks that students give one another versus the marks that lecturers give. Guess what they found?
English.
Sorry? No, they have found that they're pretty much the same. Yeah. Why have they found this? That's if the peer learning assessment is developed properly, if there's correct criteria, which tells the marker, look for this. If the person says this, give them 1 mark. If the person says this, give them 2 marks. If the person says this, give them full marks. There just needs to be the correct criteria in place which can help. And every marker, even I follow criteria when I mark. I have a rubric, I have a memo that I follow, and then I mark. Okay, so you're going to be evaluating one another's work as we go along step by step. At the end, I will give a final mark, but only at the end. Step by step, you're going to be giving one another marks and giving one another feedback, not just marks, but feedback. You're going to tell the student, your colleague, what did they do well, what did you like about what they did, and then how can they improve each time. So, the first step of the assignment is to submit what you need to do. Once everyone has submitted by the end of this week, then there will be an evaluation phase where you begin to evaluate two other people's work. Okay, so let me show you what this week's submission looks like. This week's submission is only remember the general company description? Okay, so this is the general company description, but I've called it the career, what did I call it? Career plan overview. So here what I've done is, I've given an introduction. In this section you will introduce yourself as a professional person, and I give instruction. Then I give an example from my own life. The same I do with question 2. I give the instruction, and then I give an example. The same with question 3, and so on and so forth, for the entire project going forward. There will every time be an example, an instruction, and an example, so that you know, am I doing this correctly? Not just sucking it out of your thumb. Anytime. So, but remember, when I do something, I do it quite extensively. Okay? So, I'm not going to do it in the most extensive way I could, but I'm going to do it fairly properly. So that you can learn from me, how do you write this type of thing? What types of things do you include? Okay? Almost like an apprentice. Learning from me. How do I do these things? I think often as lecturers we expect you to do everything, but we're not willing to do it. Isn't it? It's not fair, eh? As a marketer, I need to be, and as an academic, I need to teach by example. Okay? So, how do you submit? Okay, let me just quickly put on the student view so that you can see. Okay. Project. Come on. Career plan overview. Okay, so each question, there's 10 questions for the career plan overview. Okay? There's 10 questions which you need to complete by Friday, that's right. I might change that to Sunday. Yeah. Because I'm going to give you some other things to do for Friday. Right. Yeah, you know, I really like you guys. What's your linguistic approach? I know, eh? What do you call linguistic approach? Just remember, this is your major. Okay. This is your major, remember that. Marketing is your major. You need to grasp marketing. If you don't, you might as well study another course. So I need to get you to engage with marketing. Okay, so let's say you wanted to answer question 3. You click on question 3. And then you'll see the instruction and the table and the example. And then what you do is, in order to complete it, you need to copy the table, Control C, and you need to paste it into the Control V, and then you need to type your answer. Now, if you have already completed it this way, or the other way that you can do it is you can open a Word document. You can do it in Word, and then you highlight it, copy, paste into here, and you can make this bigger like this. You can add photos, you can do whatever you like really. And then what you do is you click next. That'll take you to the next question. You're not going to browse my computer and attach documents anymore, because then you're going to have to create a single document for every question, and that's going to take too long. So you're going to use your current one that you've been working on, And eventually at the end you probably will hand in a full document once you've done all these individual steps. Okay? So, yeah. In fact, my suggestion is as follows. Do a Word document. Okay? And then you copy and paste it into this, what is this called? Blackboard submission. So that you're saving it in a big document as you go along, so that at the end you can just submit that. Okay. Finding the time, you're going to have to, Maybe you're a full-time student, you're not a part-time student. Sometimes I seem to think you guys don't know what it means to be a student in higher education. Right, so once you've all submitted that, you will do an evaluation, and I will explain that once the time comes. Next week I'll explain how to evaluate other people's work. Okay. Then, lastly, learning journal. Or, not learning journal, workbook. Remember I said that you need to have a workbook that you write everything in. Now, it's a bit what's the word I'm looking for? Impractical for me to take in everyone's workbooks, and then I've got to find what you've written about, and then I've got to look through your marketing and your English and your accounting notes to find your marketing notes. So, no, and then I have to try and figure out your freaking handwriting. So it's just too involved. So what I want you to do now, because remember the workbook is mainly there for you to gather everything you're learning in marketing so that you have it in one place. But I need to make sure that you're doing it, and I want to see that you're learning effectively. So from now on, there's going to be an online workbook as well. So what you do is very simple, it's not very complicated. Very easy. When you're online, you take a photo with your phone or whatever, or you can scan it, but I suggest with your phone, you take a photo. What's this? Perceptual map. Take a photo, and you put it into your workbook, and you can type something underneath it. It's a way to catalog everything you're learning in one digital space. Okay? And at the end of this semester, I'll give you a mark for it. In fact, it's a very easy mark because it doesn't require anything but just being in class, writing down your stuff, taking a photo and putting it up. Very simple. So, this is how you do it. You go to Workbook. It's private, by the way. No one else can see it except you and me. Well, I mean, your other students can't see it. Look. So, here's an example that I've done recently. So I've got some instructions here. And then all you need to do is, you need to go to create journal entry. Very easy. Create journal entry.
Wi-Fi, that's the problem.
It's taking its time now, but it's very simple. Okay, focus. Let's say you want to do a journal entry on the product types. So all you do is you take a photo, which you've taken in class. Yeah, you either email it to yourself or you connect it with a USB. And then you upload it. You click on photo. You find your photo. Let's see if I can find a photo here. Is there a photo? You can even add videos if you like. Let's say you did an audio recording of me teaching, you can put that up as well.
taking a picture of you, so that I can share it.
Where is photos? And that's not a very. What is you going to say that you learned? Okay, so let's say I want to put that up. Now, what you're going to have to do is as follows. There's two things you need to do. You upload a photo that you've taken of your work, and then you write a short paragraph on your reflections. What did I learn? What do I not understand? What do I understand? It's very easy. Okay, it's called a learning journal. No, just chapter 8. No, that wouldn't be fair, would it? So you insert okay, you need to give it a title, sorry. You need to give it a title, let's say, product level, product types, and you can give it a description if you want as well. Okay, so then I add it in. Then I click enter, and I type in there, today I learned that blah 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 blah. A paragraph. Okay, very easy. Simple. It's a learning journal. Okay. And then you say post entry.
So, yeah, like, is it constant COP learn based off the picture or something?
No. And there we go. I can see your photo, and I can see what you wrote. And then I can write a little comment. Wow, Dylan. I'm so glad that you learned this. Smiley face. So, if I have time, I'll give you some comments eventually. Sure. Okay, so does that make sense, everyone? I know this is a lot, but don't worry, you'll get there. It seems a lot now because you haven't done it yet, but you'll get into it. So those are the three things. Are there any questions?
No, sir.
No, wonderful.